The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security and Forsets. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC-TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We're broadcasting from the Hesselson studio, and in that virtual studio this morning is Tom Sharpe. Thanks so much for being on the program this morning.
Hi, Frank. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, tell us, I know this is a simple question you get all the time, but for someone that hasn't experienced a concert like this live, what's it like? What's the atmosphere like?
Well, this is the Mannheim Steamroller Christmas is the longest running Christmas tour and the #1 selling Christmas tour of all time.
Wow.
So we have just passed our 40th anniversary of Mannheim Steamroller Christmas, and we are bringing you all of the classic pieces that you know from the radio to listening to Christmas arrangements in stores, and you almost can't avoid just the wonderful Christmas arrangements and compositions that we have brought through these many years. So we have 6 of us that tour,
okay,
and we are considered the band, and then we will have a orchestra that rounds out the stage, so it's a full stage full of musicians.
Wow.
Have an amazing light show and awesome video production that takes you straight from where we all started all the way up to modern day. So it really is something that is more than just playing Christmas music.
Sure.
We feel like we're doing something very special. We're going to leave you feeling the joy of Christmas and feeling inspired for the season.
If you're not in the Christmas spirit by the time it's over, then you're never going to be there, right?
This is really something where people have brought their children to see us, and then the children grow up and are bringing their children, and it's something that is really a Christmas tradition, is Mannheim Steamroller Christmas. And, it's something that gets passed down through the generations. And we know that we in the group are carrying a tremendous legacy.
Right.
And we're just really honored and feel, that we are going to share something that's really special.
Did you ever think when you started back around 18 years ago that you'd still be with them today?
Well, I certainly hoped so. I think that Mannheim Steamroller is something that is going to continue on. I kind of look at it like, you would like the New York Philharmonic,
Sure.
Chicago Symphony Orchestra, something like that, where, our fans are fans of Mannheim Steamroller, and we in the group, I'm 18 years in, so I'm one of the longtime members, and we in the group now are the ones that are honored to carry this legacy from this point to whenever the next is.
Sure. How do you, because I'm assuming when you start practicing getting ready for a tour, you're playing Christmas music, I'm assuming a little early for Christmas? Is that the case when you start to get ready?
Yeah, we in the group, we probably never are fully away from it all year, because
sure.
the music is very complex, and it's easy to listen to, but it's complex, and you can peel it back in many different layers. So there's always something, when we're practicing the music, there's always something new to hear and different ways to listen to it.
Sure.
So when people say it's Christmas in July, it really means
for you year round.
For us. Yeah.
What was it that originally drew you to join the band?
Well, growing up as a kid, I was a kid when that first Christmas album came out in 1984, and was already an aspiring musician at that point, and felt like that probably was the way that my life was going to go, was to be a career musician. When I first heard that the Mannheim Steamroller Christmas album as a kid, I was just blown away by it. I had never heard anything like it, and really there was nothing like it at that point. I mean, now a lot of groups have Christmas shows, and there's a lot of different rock Christmas shows or things like that, but when this first Christmas album came out in 1984, it was so, unique and groundbreaking that it really created and inspired like this whole genre of music. There was nothing like that before it. I mean, it was, Elvis and Bing Crosby and those types of, great Christmas songs. But this came out and kind of turned the whole thing upside down, is how I like to think of it.
You're right. It almost feels like you've always been there, that music's always been there, and you don't realize how revolutionary it was when it first came out.
Yeah, it really is one of a kind, and revolutionary is absolutely right. It's Chip Davis, the creator of this, is just a visionary, and the way that he arranges these pieces, that we all know, the classic pieces, and also he does this amazing thing where almost like in the middle of a piece or something is some minutes of just original music that he kind of is able to weave in and out of these classic Christmas arrangements, along with he has a lot of his own Christmas songs that were that are originals too, that are just either totally rockin' or super lush and beautiful, and it's just really a special thing to be a part of.
How many songs do you typically get through in a show? Because the songs can be quite lengthy.
Yeah, we have. I think we're probably 12 or 13 per half. So, we have an intermission in there, and then that's about.
Wow.
I think that's about where we're landing. So, and it has such a great flow to it too. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride of emotions where we're taking you up and bringing you back, and lots of it will be very heartfelt, and then some of it's just going to be just total rock energy, and it's a real journey that we're taking you on. It's not just playing Christmas songs, because honestly you can get that anywhere.
Right.
So we want you to feel like you have left a concert that something really special just happened.
What's it like, because you mentioned the orchestra, you mentioned the band, you mentioned how many people have to just put something like this together. What's the tour like? It must be pretty overwhelming.
Everybody's so great on this tour. It's like, high quality always wins. And so, it's from our crew to our management to the orchestral musicians that we work with, we're considered, the Mannheim Steamroller is considered the band, and we're the ones that tour with our crew and managers. And then the orchestra is local. So we will come into town and we will rehearse with your top level contracted musicians, and then we'll put on the show. But I always say high quality always wins. And so we expect that, and we bring that just everywhere we go. So it's a wonderful tour to be a part of, and it's something that I look forward to every year.
So on your downtime and your free time, what kind of music do you listen to?
Oh my gosh, I listen to all sorts of stuff. It's a generic answer, but I grew up. Formal training was orchestral music, so I still love that. I really kind of lean towards the romantic period of classical music with like Mahler and Dvorak and Rimsky-Korsakov and the names like that. And so that's my kind of classical side, and I'm a rocker too. So and being a drummer, I tend to lean towards the more complex arranged drum bands like Tool and Muse and things like that the drummers are really hitting it hard. So, and I also have a lot of fondness for world music, and I'm a composer, and I kind of blend all those things together when I compose my own music. The classical and the rock and the world together.
Do you have touring so frequently and being a part of this so often, do you have a lot of free time to do your own music?
I think all of us as musicians, it's like none of us ever just do one thing. So
Okay.
I think that's kind of part of your life's work as a musician is you know doing different, being in different bands and doing some teaching, and any time that you feel like you're doing what you consider to be your life's work, you want to give that back.
Sure.
So all of us are doing some sort of giving back in some ways, whether we're doing teaching, or whether we're giving clinics, or things like that. Just kind of finding ways to have your art be something that's bigger than you. And I think that's a real goal for me, is to always feel like when you're doing your life's work, people can tell.
Yes.
And that's how I want to be in my career, whether it's being with Mannheim Steamroller, or whether it's doing my own music, or whether it's being at a university, or being in a elementary school assembly.
Sure.
It all together creates a career in music.
Just before we go, because you are so busy touring, do you get to take in the holiday season, or you're just constantly going? You're busy when everybody else is trying to take off.
Yeah, that's kind of part of it, is that being in a famous Christmas group means you don't really get Christmas off.
Yeah, right.
But we do get Christmas Day off, though, so that's good. And but we all adapt and adjust to that, and we know it really is like, it's not about me,
Right.
And
Right.
we all feel like that in the group, that when you look at it through that lens, the lens of the audience, it's every night is the night. That's how we feel. It's not like, oh gosh, we're 25 shows into this and it's getting tiring, and we never feel that way. We gear up for every night as if it is the night, because it is for the audience. They've got this checked on their calendar for as long as they've had tickets, and as long as they've known that we're coming, and so we bring it. Every night we bring it, and that's what we want you to expect. Is expect a lot, because we're going to bring it.
All right. Well, perfect. On that note, Tom, thanks for giving us so much time today.
Of course. Thank you, Frank.
Best of luck. Enjoy Elmira. All right.
Thanks so much.
All right. We'll be
Take
right
care.
back with Frankly Speaking. Stay with us.